Good evening, greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. I want to make this current news update and just let you know some of the things that has happened here in Israel today. It is with tremendous sadness that I have to share that this beautiful young woman, Elisheva Rose is her name, 20 years old, was brutally murdered in a terror attack today. An Arab terrorist attacked two border police officers who were stationed at the police station in East Jerusalem, just across the street from the entrance to the old city. And this beautiful young girl was fatally stabbed, only 20 years old. She only arrived in Israel in 2021, where she joined the police. She came from America as a lone soldier, which means she's here. Her family is still back in America. So we bow our head in honor and respect for this young woman who was brutally murdered today, being attacked, murdered in the streets for no other reason than just being Jewish. This is the second time in 48 hours, a little bit more than 48 hours, that we have had a terror attack. The other day it was a young man. He was the father of 3 small children. He was on his way from the army. He was actually a reserve in the army, and he was on his way to go visit his family and then he was brutally attacked. He was shot in his car, and his car actually flipped over and he was killed. So I'm sending my deepest condolences to his family and also to this young girl's family. May their memories forever be a blessing. This morning when I woke up, there was so many vile pro-Palestinian from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free, which means the annihilation of the Jewish people. These comments was on my big page, Israel One Nation. I had simply shared a post where I was saying, good night from beautiful Jerusalem, and I tagged myself, my location to be Jerusalem, Israel, and that was enough. I spent hours and hours to delete and block and delete and block, and it just kept coming and kept coming. And then this terror attack occurred, and then again throughout the day, on and off, rockets has been flying in from the south, from Hamas inside the Gaza Strip, but also from the north. Terror missiles and rockets has been firing in from Lebanon, from Hezbollah, but also from Hamas operative, Hamas terrorist who is inside Lebanon firing at Israel. So Israel is still on high alert all the way through. So I'm just going to give you some notes. That's why I'm wearing my reading glasses. So while things are really, really tense inside the Gaza Strip, and they're trying to eliminate all of these terrorists, and they have taken out some of the big names in the leaderships, some of the commanders inside the Gaza Strip of Hamas terrorists, some of those who planned the massacre on Israel on October 7, and some of them who has already committed terror attacks against Israeli civilians. So they are doing such a good job inside the Gaza Strip. But things are tense out in Judea and Samaria. They have arrested more than, I think it's 1,200 terror suspects since this war began on October 7. More than 800 of those are affiliated with Hamas. So the Israeli anti-terrorism units and the Shin Bets, they know these guys. They know where they are. They know what they have done. They know their names, and they are keeping track on them. So today they actually went into Tulkarem and they took out a terrorist cell of 4 terrorists. I'm just reading what the police said. The police earlier today confirmed that they killed members of a terror cell that was planning to carry out major terror attacks on behalf of Hamas. This was a cell that had already carried out dozens of shooting attacks and had operated under the guidance and funding of Hamas in the Gaza Strip and also abroad, as well as other terror groups. In this process, they had received hundreds of thousands of shekels to advance terror activities. And according to the police and the Shin Bet, this cell was working to arm itself to carry out bombing attacks, launch rockets from Judea and Samaria, and recruit additional members for attacks. So thank God and thank you to the special unit who took out this terrorist cell who was planning to carry out imminent attack in Judea and Samaria. Israeli forces, as we know, are operating in the northern Gaza Strip, and today they located several rocket launches and more than 50 rockets located in a compound used by a youth movement and a mosque. Inside a building used by Palestinian scout associations, they found rocket launches. These were pointed at Ascalon and central Israel cities. Outside, 50 rockets bearing the logo of Palestinian Islamic Jihad were found in an underground storage site. Besides that, they located a number of empty underground rocket launchers close to a mosque in the northern Gaza Strip. So again, these terrorists don't care about innocent civilians inside the Gaza Strip. Here are some of the rocket launches that the Israeli military found today. And they were pointed toward Ascalon and other Israeli cities. And here are some of the rockets planted underground close to a mosque that the Israeli military also found. So they are doing such a good job. Israel is moving forward, taking out many of these Hamas terrorists. They are taking out some heavy hitters, so to speak. Some of the Hamas leaders, some of the commanders who was part of planning the atrocious attack against Israel, the massacre on the Israeli civilians on October 7. So unfortunately also we still have casualties in Gaza. I think the number of killed soldiers defending the Jewish homeland against this evil ISIS terror regime has now reached, I think it was 35 or 36 young men who has all been killed inside the Gaza Strip. So we bow our heads in respect and we say may their memories forever be a blessing and may God comfort their families. The Israeli military has already started handing out more than 120,000 winter coats and warm heating pads and bags to the Israeli military because they foresee that this is going to be a long war inside the Gaza Strip. We have entered November, even though we still have 27, 28 Celsius here in Jerusalem. We have learned that the weather changes like this. It always happens so fast. So the Israeli military has started handing out winter equipment and winter coats to all of their soldiers. So everything is still high alert. In an instant, Nasrallah, Hezbollah, with the approval of Iran, could start firing the rockets they have. They have missiles and rockets that can hit every single city in Israel. These are long-range missiles that can hit every single city inside the Gaza, inside Israel. So rockets are already coming from Gaza. Rockets are coming from the north. It's still in a limited, not that many, but Israel is still on high alert, and we need your prayers. Today, the Prime Minister of Israel was actually speaking to ambassadors here in Israel, foreign ambassadors, and he said, you know, this is not just an attack on Israel. This is also it's attack against us. But if we don't stop that now, this is going to spread out to the rest of the world. But we know God says, if you touch Israel, you're touching the apple of my eye. And we know the hate, the lies, the propaganda coming against Israel is unprecedented. And you have seen since this war started with this brutal attack from ISIS, Nazi, Hamas into Israel, you have seen what people carry inside, the hate towards the Jewish people. They are marching in your streets and they're screaming for death to the Jews, to eradicate the Jews from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. If you didn't know now the hate coming against Israel and the Jewish people, you know now, because you see it's taking place all over the world. I want to encourage you, and I just shared this on my Telegram channel, and one more time, I cannot emphasize and encourage you enough to download the app Telegram. There are no censorship. I have shared so many things today. I'm sharing videos that I can't share anywhere else because then I will be censored. And I can leave voice messages, and I feel like you are very close to me. So one of the things you can do, people are asking me, what can you do? Well, when I go on Instagram, when I go on YouTube, when I go on Twitter, and in my feed, I'm following Reuters, Amnesty International, I'm following the United Nations, Sky News, BBC, CNN, whatever they're called. And when they share stories either about the atrocities that took place here in Israel, when they are actually getting it right and they're sharing this, or they're sharing things about, oh, Israel is killing all of the innocent Palestinians inside the Gaza Strip, no matter what they're sharing, there are all the anti-Israel post commentaries. Israel is just killing innocent civilians. Israel is occupying Palestine. So go and leave a comment. Go make your voice heard. Go leave a comment and just be a light in the darkness and the hate coming towards the Jewish people. When I post this video, I will actually leave some of the things that I write. When I see all of these posts, you can copy paste all of it or some of it. It's just as help for you. So you can say, you know what, today I made a difference. Today I spoke against the indictment, the lies that's coming against Israel. For such a time as this, like people are saying, the people who is doing something today are the people who would have done something if you were alive during the Holocaust. Don't stay silent. Do not stay silent, but try and take the decision that I will be a light in the darkness. God is saying Israel is a light amongst the nation. Israel is a light. Israel is a blessing to the world. If you don't understand anything about politics and all that's going on, just hold on to one thing. My Bible says, which means God says, I will bless those that bless Israel. I will curse those that curse Israel. I will make your name great. You will be a blessing to the world. I made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and their descendants. This is the land that God gave to the Jewish people. If Israel is occupying a Palestinian state, then God is a liar. Then the Bible is a lie. And we know that is not the truth. God doesn't change his mind. God doesn't take an eternal covenant back. That's all you just need to know. This is the land that God gave to the Jewish people. They have a right to this land. They own this land. They cannot occupy what they own. Zero, zat, zip, zero, finis, bambito, nito, finito. That's it. You cannot occupy your own country. There has not been a Palestinian Arab state ever. Israel was occupied by foreign armies. Syria, Jordan, Egypt. Where were all the Palestinians then? When were they screaming about we want a Palestinian state? No. Not until Israel liberated their God-given lands did Yasser Arafat say, now we're going to steal it from the Jews. We're going to have the sympathy from the world. So now we're going to say the Jews stole our land. It is not true. And by the way, this is not about land. This is not about a two-state solution. This is about Jews dying. This is about the nation of Israel being free from Jews and turned into a Palestinian state. It's about the elimination of the Jewish people. So for such a time as this, say to yourself, not on my watch. Not on my watch will I let this happen. God has created me for such a time as this. If you are alive right now, it's because God has a purpose for you. God has a plan for you. Are you fulfilling that plan? God says, comfort my people. He's talking to you. He's talking to me for such a time as this. Bye.